The story about how you ran into Andy Slater is pretty remarkable.
I would say so. And also the remarkable thing about it is that I don't think that I would have been here had it happened any other way or had it taken any longer than it did. I had this incredibly strong intuition, or just I told my sister that I'd felt that I'd heard a voice telling me to go to California and make a demo tape, because all of a sudden this clarity came to me, because this was the time in my life when I was supposed to start having like a, one of those identity crises that, like, I'm supposed to have at my age, like, well, what am I going to do with my life and everything? And all of a sudden I realized, wait, you shouldn't really worry about it. Just have the clarity and have the vision to see which doors are opening for you and follow that way. And for some reason it just felt like California meant to me like show business. California meant go out there and like record and do your music thing, because that's what my dad always wanted me to do. I was like, okay, well, and I just felt it like a voice, and I was like, man, I think I have to go do this. Went to California, finished school in 2 months, made my demo tape. My dad said we're going to have to send out, like, copies all over the place. You're going to have to hand them out on the street.
He was
you're
happy
going to
with
force them on him. Well, no, I mean, but he was saying, he was happy with them, but he was saying that, that, it was going to take years. I was going to meet 5 or 6 managers before I found the one that I wanted to stay with, that I was going to have to send them to every A&R guy on the planet and wait. And I really was not going to do that, and I wasn't going to go play clubs, and I'm in complete awe of the bands that do that for years and years, waiting for a record deal. And so we made up our first batch of tapes with 78 tapes, and I thought that was a ridiculous amount of tapes to make up, because I just wasn't willing to talk to that many people about my music.
So you still have the creative tapes, probably?
I still have 77 of them, because I gave one to my friend, and she was babysitting for Catherine Schenker, who is a publicist, and she gave it to her, and Kathy had a party, and Andy went to the party and called me up. And so instead of going back to LA and starting to hand out the rest of my 77 tapes, I went to LA and met Andy, decided on the first day that I loved him, he was great, and we could work together, and that was it.
Yeah. You said that if it had happened any other way, you wouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because I would not have stuck it out for a long time. I'm so tired of trying to say things to people and having them not listen, that I mean, that's a lot of reason why a lot of people think that I'm either depressed or sullen or shy, because I just simply will not talk to you unless I think that you're listening to me. I just simply won't. I can't. So if I had to go and run around, I just wouldn't do that. If I had to go and run around and solicit all of my stuff, I just couldn't do it. Because I'd rather be in my own head than have to deal with people, not taking me seriously anymore.
Looking back at this point, do you think that you might prefer it unfold in a different way than it has?
No. Because my strength is in my honesty, and I think it's only right that I go through things in an intense way, so that when I express them, and I will, that there's things to be expressed. If I go through things, there's lots of people going through a lot of stuff in this world, and not saying anything about it, and instead, and not getting up and when they have an opportunity to speak to a lot of people, not saying anything about that to actually help the people that are watching. They're just getting up there and going,
coasting through life.
Like that. And yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to be that kind of person. So when I go through this stuff, I'm not going to say that this isn't tough and that I don't hate it sometimes. This was terribly hard to adjust to, and I have thought many times that it wasn't worth it. But the fact is that I did adjust to it, and that proves to me that I can do anything. Everything is so well groomed in the media. I just think it should be more reflective of what real life is really like, I don't want all of my mistakes to be edited out of my public, package thing. I want my mistakes to be in there, because that's who I am, and I'm only as cool as I am because of the mistakes that I've made and because of how I've handled them. And nobody is just one thing all the time. Nobody's cool all the time. Nobody's smart all the time. So this is me, and this is all of me and every part of me, and